Hello, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting, and I'm your host, Lovey Brown. And I'm just thrilled that you're listening today. Thank you so much for tuning in to this podcast. Today, I want to read a little bit from The Awakened Imagination and the Search by Neville Goddard. As you may can tell by now on the podcast, if you've been listening to more than one episode, that Neville Goddard is my favorite manifesting teacher. Now, that doesn't mean I don't love other manifesting teachers. I do love Florence Scovel Shinn and Joseph Murphy and Abraham Hicks. I've mentioned them several times. So there are other manifesting teachers that I really listen to and like a lot. But Neville Goddard is my absolute favorite. And today I want to talk to you about something that Neville calls thinking from the end instead of thinking of the end. So sometimes when we imagine the future, we think of it. Now what Neville Goddard tells us that we have to do is we have to think from it. So we have to place ourselves internally in our own minds, in the privacy of our own thoughts. We have to place ourselves in that future and think from that future as if you are already there. So I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit about that now. Determined imagination, thinking from the end, is the beginning of all miracles. I would like to give you an immense belief in miracles, but a miracle is only the name given by those who have no knowledge of the power and function of imagination to the works of imagination. Imagining oneself into the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the means by which a new state is entered. This gives the state of the quality of isness. That means it is, right? The future must become the present in the imagination of the one who would wisely and consciously create circumstances. We must translate vision into being, thinking of into thinking from. Imagination must center itself in some state and view the world from that state. So you have to move into that state as if you're in it, as if you're already in that state, and then view the world, the whole rest of the world, from that state. So that was me. I just added that little bit from, so I'm going to go back to Neville now. Thinking from the end is an intense perception of the world of fulfilled desire. Thinking from the state desired is creative living. Ignorance of this ability to think from the end is bondage. It is the root of all bondage with which man is bound. To passively surrender to the evidence of the senses underestimates the capacities of the inner self. Once man accepts thinking from the end as a creative principle in which he can cooperate, then he is redeemed from the absurdity of ever attempting to achieve his object by merely thinking of it. Construct all ends according to this pattern of fulfilled desire. So there you have it. That's what Neville has to say about thinking from the end. So let's just briefly go over what my interpretation of what Neville is saying in this passage. He is saying that you don't think of the end. So like you're sitting wherever you are right now, or maybe you're standing, maybe you're in a car, wherever you are currently being, you can think of your end, right? You can think of getting back with your specific person. But you could also think from the thought perspective of, if you were already back with your specific person, what thoughts would you have? What thinking would you be doing from the perspective of, you're already back with your specific person? Your ex has already, called you back. You're in a happy, committed relationship with your specific person. And what thoughts are you having? You're probably thinking something like, gosh, I wonder what my specific person wants for dinner. He hasn't told me what he wants for dinner. Or she hasn't let me know yet what we're going to be doing this evening. So something maybe really mundane like that. That could be what you're thinking. Now, it could be more exciting than that. I mean, because in your future, when you're back with your specific person and you're having thoughts, because you're already back with your specific person, so you're having thoughts about what you're going to be doing. Sometimes you're going to be doing exciting things, going on vacations or having really romantic experiences together. And sometimes you're going to be living in the mundane, day-to-day life. So you can choose what sort of thinking from the end you want to do. So you're going to be thinking thoughts, though, like you're the person that already has your desire. Those are the types of thoughts that you want to think. So, let's say that you're already back with your specific person. Do you feel loved or unloved? More than likely, you're going to feel loved. Do you feel wanted or unwanted? You're going to feel wanted. And if you're the person that your specific person chose, because you are going to be that, if you're listening to this podcast right now, I'm already intending that, then you're going to be chosen. You're going to be the best. You're going to be the prize for that person. So that's all I have to talk about today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And may you manifest exactly what you want.